and behavioral skills. She was one of the first DISC Classic certified trainers in the world for Inkscape Publishing, Inc. She's been honored 3 times by the Illinois chapter of National Speakers Association with the Wordsmith and Nick Carter Awards and as Member of the Year. She was also named Outstanding Chicago Speaker by Red Carpet Concierge, an influential woman in business, and one of the outstanding women of the 21st century. This fall, she'll be honored as a distinguished alum by her high school. Lillian has worked and played in politics, corporate corner offices, and trenches at AT&T and Nicor, and maneuvered the entrepreneurial battlefield. She knows firsthand what it takes to be successful, and she loves to share how to build relationships that last. Welcome, Lillian.
My pleasure. Would you get this handed out? Well, I am so delighted to be welcomed later today as a member of Engaging Speakers. I've known Tom Ghosh since before he even co-founded the group, and since that's only 10 years ago, Tom, I can say that. I've met Gail Brown a few years ago, and we've stayed in touch. And Lori, Linda, and Sue are all members or have been members of a for invitation only women's group that I co-founded 6 years ago. So it feels like family. And I look forward to meeting those of you I don't know, like you, and welcoming you to my family as well, and being included in your family. We have a lot I want to talk about today, and the talk today, the focus is on engaging speakers. It's not on me or my company, but rather on how we can get more out of engaging speakers. So as soon as you get your handout, Sue, could you help Lori pass those out, please? Oh, okay. You got them all out? Oh, wonderful.
Oh, okay. Lillian, they somehow got, the other pile got separated, so.
Everybody should have 4 pages. If you don't have 4 pages, the last 2 pages are the same. I fooled you, see? You thought it was duplicative. I can tell we need Sue Becker here for organization. I wasn't able to staple them because the first page we're going to be collecting in just a minute. On their first page, you have 6 speaking categories. Your task is to write down 2 engaging member speakers who immediately come to mind for each of those 6 categories. Then I want you to put ES behind it in parentheses. Now, should there be a category where you don't know an engaging speaker, shame on you, you can put down anyone's name, but do not put ES behind it. And then as soon as we finish, the women are going to collect these and tabulate them for me so that I can talk about them before I finish. Okay, go to it. How well do you know ES? No.
Only 3. That's the only thing we got.
Okay, Lori, these people are missing page 1. They only have 1 page.
Over here are we're gonna have to figure out what. What are the categories?
Okay, you need 2 of these, Mary. 2 of which one? This one.
Nope, you need only 1 of these.
Oh, okay. I have I'm missing another one.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Here you go. And here you go. Okay, we got 2. We're getting.
I have that one. I only have. We'll get them yet. We need 4 pages.
Okay.
And I need a 4 now. Okay.
Do we have some extras of the first page? Okay. Now that we've done the first exercise, I'm going to share with you the objectives for today. I didn't want to cloud your thinking at all with any type of objectives or anything before we did this, because I wanted your responses to truly be top of mind and what came to you immediately. And it will be interesting to see how well we've done. So our objectives today, among them, is to better connect engaging speakers' names and topics with each other. How many of you filled out all 6 of them easily? Okay, a couple of you. Somebody here? Okay. Well, the new website is going to help a lot because people are going to be listed, members are going to be listed by both their topic and by their name. So if you're looking for somebody, or if a meeting planner is looking for someone, they will easily be able to go and find them by name and topic rather than the way they are now. Another objective is to help you feel more comfortable in passing along extra speaking opportunities. And what I mean by extra is, let's say that somebody calls you for a gig and you're already booked. Well, rather than saying, no, I can't do it, what option would you have? To refer an engaging speaker. How many of you have done that? Okay, and you're not an engaging speaker, Leanne. I know you do that, right? Leanne's a friend of mine who drove in all the way from Indiana, by the way, so thank you. Who else said they did? Oh, you have, okay. And did it work out? Very well. Good. That's something that I want you to put top of mind also, as long as we're talking top of mind. You have a lot of qualified people whom you can refer. Another time might be when someone asks you to speak on a topic that's not your expertise. Now, we could talk for 30 minutes about whether you take that gig or whether you don't. Let me see a quick show of hands. How many of you take a speaking opportunity, even if it's not your expertise, because it pays well? You would do the research and do it. Okay. There's pros and cons. You certainly have a point there. Other people say no, because my expertise is thus and such, and when I go, that's what I want to be branded as. So if you fall into the category where you don't want to do the research and speak on something that you're not an expert on, again, remember your engaging speaker friends. Because when you give clients a good recommendation, you are going to be even more valuable to them than if you turn them down. I have a client in the city. They needed someone to do marketing brochures, which is something I don't do. I referred them someone, and do you know what? They didn't even ask me her name or anything about her. I took her in personally. She was hired on the spot. That's because people do business with people they know and trust. You can increase your trust when you refer good speakers to someone who's asking for someone who is not in your category. My last point is that you will eagerly share engaging speakers, and that's all those people jumping up and down, when meeting planners or event planners are seeking a topic that is not your topic. One of our goals for engaging speakers in the year ahead is to alert more event and meeting planners to engaging speakers. I think it's a pretty well-kept secret. It's a well-kept secret of a lot of really good speakers. So when you run across meeting planners or after you finished a gig, how often do you say to them, what other speakers are you looking for? Can I help you find speakers? You'd be amazed that if you did a good job, they'd say, of course, who else do you know who can come in and do this good a job for us? And here you have engaging speakers. So that's what one of our goals is to increase your knowledge and your awareness of members so that you will refer the group more often. And again, when the new website gets up, and I understand you're going to be helping us do that, both of you, it's going to be a great boon. And we'll be sending people there. I can't wait to get it out to my LinkedIn people and so on, to let them know about this great opportunity, because I love promoting. You haven't caught that yet, have you? One of the things that I use is top of the mind positioning when I give my programs on relationship building. Today we're just going to use that tail end slide. And if you're lucky, you will have a handout with this on it. Do you have that handout? Okay. If you don't, it'll be fairly simple for you. Top of the mind positioning is simple. It means that when your topic comes up, yours is the first name that pops into mind, just like the exercise I ask you to do. How many of you have a marketing plan geared to top of the mind positioning? All right. Then when you go on LinkedIn and respond to a group, in a group, it should be on the topic you want to establish your brand with. Whenever you write a media release, whenever you write an article, whenever you post status updates, over and over and over and over, you're going to hammer that expertise. And some of you may have two. So what I'd like you to do is on your handout, jot down two of them that come to mind for you. Obviously, the last part of it is you fill in your name. When people think of blank, they think of you. Don't put down 6 or 8 of them, because you're going to be diluting yourself. No one is an expert in 6 or 8 areas. 1 or 2. So now we're going to move to the time where you're going to get to know each other even better. And you should each have now at least one handout or 2. There were 2 when we started. Asking where you can share and write down what other people at your table are going to share with you. We're going to go through an exercise where each of you will stand up at your table, introduce yourself, which will be simply your name and whether you're an engaging speaker member, and then you will give 3 areas of expertise you have. And everyone at the table should fill out that form on you. If they don't fill it out, be leery of them, because silence is a major form of communication. Okay, what I'd like you to do, since we have 2 of you here, would you like to join one of the other groups so that you get to meet more people? You can slip in here. What? Okay, and let's see. Why don't you join them and we'll give you a few more people, okay?
Okay.
Because that way you get to meet more people. She just came in here, okay.
Here you go. Thank you.
There's a table back here by Gail that has only 4 people. And that table, Mark, are you going to be sitting back down? Okay, that table can use another person. And then you can just slip in here. This table just has 4.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the first person at each table will be the person whose birthday is nearest today. Whether it goes backwards to July or forwards to September or it's in August,
Okay, 23rd of
that person will go first.
I think it's you. That's all right. You're number 1. Hey, stand up. You have to stand up.
You don't have to stand up.
That's what she said.
Okay.
The picture went out, I don't know if you want.
Stacy Brown.
They wouldn't have it here. Yeah, I lost it.
Okay, should we just say it? All right, just basically say what you're saying.
We'll see if Tom can get it fixed. If not, I'm not sure. Okay, let's get started. And I want you to stand up because height is power. Stand up at your table and do what the directions say. Give your name, whether you're an engaging member, speaker, or guest, and your 3 topics. Okay? And you get to start, I understand.
Your computer turned off before.
What?
It just turned off and turned back on.
Okay.
You just gotta wait.
I am Brenda Gill.
And if you haven't, just a minute, please. If you haven't done so, everybody, pass your business cards along because it will help people make sure that they spell their name correctly.
That helps.
Okay?
How do you spell your last name?
Gould. G-O-U-L-D. Like that. Kicker?
Yeah, Robbie. Are you related? You would, right?
Again, my name is Brenda Gould, and I'm a guest. I sit on business development and sales and marketing. Business development. Laundry business. Sales and marketing.
Also, the other thing I do is fulfilling our intention as leadership and training routines. So having our intentions fulfilled, and I'm really excited about that because I love
The positioning statement. If you can go down a little into it, for instance, internet marketing /SEO, it helps establish you. Yeah. Good. Because you're right, there are large topics, and so if you can hone it down into lay language that people understand.
And that's why I did this book.
Exchange.
I did 7 press releases. And then I turned it into 7 chapters. In a week I had a book. To show people, and really the only reason to show people, you don't have to wait 2 or 3 years to do a book. You can do something because you're an expert at what you do. You should be able to write it down.
Exactly.
We didn't even have anybody edit it. That would be in version 2. But
I have an anthology I'm contributing author to. And I was interviewed on WGN radio, and I said it was like writing an article. All of a sudden I had a chapter and I'm in the book. But when you can write and you know how to do that, that's all it is.
right.
And then
Mental block, people can't do it. I think anybody can.
it used to be sitting and looking at that blank piece of paper. Now it's a blank computer screen. Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh-huh. Oh.
The best network around.
Thank you. Okay, has everyone finished? No. Okay. Then talk amongst yourself at the tables. We have one table finishing up over here. Okay. If we can, how did you learn anything about anyone during this exercise? Yes. Good. And I know you were really good, deep into it. Now my next question is, what are you going to do with it? Aha, thank you. How do you refer?
How do you remember?
How do you remember? That's one reason you wrote down, because you know we only remember 10% of what we hear, but 90% of what we do. Which is why I didn't just have you exchange business cards, because I know that for one thing, when you wrote it down, you're going to remember it more easily. Plus, you have a record of it now. And it would be nice if we had the time, if you could, change tables with everyone and sit down and do it, because it does help you get to know people better. It's great. I love the 30-second introduction. But I noticed, I looked around, I didn't see anybody taking notes. Somebody might have been, I didn't see them. So therefore, a lot of, listening is, we only remember 20% of what we hear. Sometimes it goes down to 10% after 48 hours. And it's just like it goes through and right out. And with some of us, it goes out even faster. For those of us who are not audio learners. Visual learners will remember the face. Audio learners will remember more what was said. But you ask a good visual learner what somebody does, and they go, huh? But I know what she was wearing. Yeah. Okay. The people have graciously tallied this for me. And under leadership, we have several people, and I will just mention, it looks as if almost all of them are engaging speaker members. We have quite a plethora, interestingly enough. No one just stands out. which means that when it comes to referring, you all have a lot of different people you would refer on leadership. Gail Brown got 1. Linda McCabe, who's not here, got 4. Colonel Jill Morgenthaler got 3, both of those I know. Michelle Knight got 1. Brian King. Andrea Horan, Lori, Lillian, Barry, Catherine John Maxwell, Sarah Victory, so Linda, Mark Papadas, Anita. So a lot of people got 1, which is interesting because the branding is not real clear, would you say, Jean, on that? You know, people only can give us back what we give them. It's like looking in a mirror, and people see what you put into that mirror. And you're the one in charge of putting into that mirror. So it may be that people listed you under some of these because there weren't categories that were more specific to you. In other words, if there had been 20 categories, people might not have listed you under that one. You were just listing people you knew. So it is complimentary, though, for that. Financial, here's an interesting statistic. Lynn Torrey got 11, so that stands out. Tom Ghosh, Angie Knoll, Lori Martin, Sharon Case. Under health, Gail Brown got 7. Sabrina Schulten, is that you?
That's me.
That's you. You got 10. Joy Klein got 9. Is Joy?
Right here.
Okay. I was looking in the right direction. Julia. Quite a few who are not here. Lori Martin got 1.
She's here.
She's right there.
Oh, no, I knew she was. I'm sorry. I wasn't reading the people with X's. Deb DeSandro, you got 1. I'm not sure how you got 1 in health. Other than maybe you just look healthy, right? I know, Deb, and I didn't know you spoke on health.
Well, I speak for health and wellness events. I do,
Okay.
as a keynote speaker.
Okay.
So thank you, Edward.
Sales. Here, the leader outstanding is Tom Ghosh with 10. Mark got 1. Fred McMurray got 1. Brian Tracy got 1 here. I don't see Tony Robbins, but I see Brian Tracy. Grant, Dale, Rob Royblatt? Okay, got 1. Career development. The leader there was Lori Polinsky with 6. Again, Mark got 1. Linda McCabe got a few. And then marketing. Jean Warfel, you got 17. I think you've done a good job of making it. Barry, you got 7. With Grant Playcheck? Playcheck. Somebody wrote that down too, so I couldn't even spell that, so I have no idea who did that. I think they probably tampered that. That's you? Okay. That's why you got him. All right. Wayne, Gail, Lillian, Fred McMurray. So, as you listen to these totals, what is it that you hear? Some people get a lot.
I think it was a lot of top of mind because I'm over this book and that was startling. That kept it locked in.
Absolutely.
We had a lot of time talking, so that kept it top of mind.
Sabrina spoke last week.
Right.
They created a brand.
Lynn Torrey spoke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing is just, being here at the meetings a lot, because it is kind of out of sight, out of mind, or you forget somebody's name,
Yeah. You're talking to a face-to-face networking believer here. I think online networking is really good, and it's really a great way to keep your brand there. But sometimes it's better, not sometimes, it is better to start a relationship face-to-face. Like now that I've met you, I know your face, and when I think of you or when I email you or something, I can visualize you. And that really helps me because I am a visual learner, 100%. So when I'm emailing someone I don't know, it's harder for me to actually email and to be engaging. because I can't visualize who they are and I can't feel them. That's for me personally. Some of you may feel entirely different about that. However, it is good to take that time to have a cup of coffee with someone. It's good to take the time to attend the meetings, and I really urge you after the meetings to take time to have coffee. When I owned my leads group, I would call them duos, because my corporation is Dual Force Enterprises. And I call them duos because two people would get together for coffee. That hour to me is really well spent. And it's really well spent when each of you share. You know, no one does a cordon up and takes 45 or 50 minutes of the hour. But when you truly both share what you do. Okay, what is the most important thing you learned today, and what are you going to do? How are you going to implement it? Branding is front and center.
Have your topics ready to say a moment's notice when people ask.
Be able to succinctly articulate what you do. When you can't succinctly articulate what you do, who in the world is going to do it for you? That means no ums and no ahs. When someone says, what do you do? It comes right out. Otherwise, they're not sure that you really know what it is you do. And people don't like to hire people who are not sure of what they do, especially to pay you good money. Okay, one more point. What else did you learn, and how will you implement?
I think by you become more believable and more trustworthy when you can refer competent people to potential clients.
Absolutely. You become more valuable to your client, and who of us doesn't want to be more valuable to our client? So it doesn't mean you have to do all the work for your client. It means that you're a source. You hear a lot about connecting. People are connectors. I love connecting people like through email. It's so easy, and you just put them together. And the better quality the connection, the more valuable you become. When you really truly know, and that's another reason why you have to get to know what engaging speakers do, because the more valuable the connection you make, the more that person is going to respect you. And it is impossible not to get back when you give. It's the law of reciprocity. No one who gives doesn't get. And the other nice things, you don't have to keep track, because the universe does that for you. And a master networker knows that he or she is to give before they get, because the universe doesn't want you taking until you've given. You can't take money out of a bank until you put some in, unless you pay interest. And the universe is the same way. Well, it has been a delight to speak with you. I hope that it's been valuable for you, and I look forward to seeing you at many, many, many more meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.